All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. I hope you guys are doing well, feeling good. As you're tuning in, hit that thumbs up. Today, we do have a nice green day to talk about, and day one of us looking forward to being more assertive, more aggressive is a success. And we do have to say thank you, because the market surprised us with some nice momentum today, right? So that definitely always helps us, to get green and push forward. So in terms of the stocks we traded, there was three main stocks. We had ALZN, VRAX, and SOND. These were the top three stocks today. And VRAX and ALZN in particular, those two were very, very strong. I mean, absolutely aggressive. What we really love to see is a strong move within the first hour or two after the open. And that's exactly what we got. And so, you guys know, oftentimes pre-market will give strong opportunities starting around 4 a.m., 8 a.m. But a lot of times the stocks do not continue. Maybe we get a little sideways and then back down. But we've been seeing that continuation into the new highs and just aggression pushing up. So ALZN, we were able to lock in $3,800 on this one. And believe it or not, I kind of missed the entire front side, right? Watching here and fumbled all the way from 7, I think, to about maybe like 10, 11. I fumbled so much of this front side, man. The opportunities, and usually the first move, right? This is what I would consider the first move. Right here, we had the second move. We didn't really see a third push. After this, it was kind of done. The first move is usually the best move, and that's usually because a lot of times there's just no second move, right? A lot of times you get the first leg, sideways, sideways, and then right back down. So we had a beautiful first leg, and I was not able to capitalize. In fact, I think I was red like 400. So at the time, I was like, man, what the heck? But one of my adjustments recently, I have a couple stickies down here, was, hey, even if you miss a couple trades, do not get frustrated, but keep locked in. Stay focused, keep paying attention, because more than likely the stock is going to continue to give more opportunities. And then we were able to lock it in. So this lets me know that, after studying tonight, I will be more prepared for the front side on the next stock. And if we can capture the front side like we should, and also the second half, right? The second leg, let's say the first leg and second leg, we can triple our day just like that, because that first move, right? So for context, this thing started off around $2.20 this morning. And it really did its thing, right? Around 7, 8 a.m. It pushed up. It had breaking news and went over 376, pushed all the way to 634, a little bit of sideways action, and then got all the way up to 705. From there, we consolidated, and then coming into the open, I actually was a little upset when I saw this, because I prefer to see every uptrend after the open, right? I'm like, man, this thing gave a sweet breakout. And if we kind of zoom out, you can, it's a little bit better for the context here. I mean, it was so aggressive that it looks like this move wasn't big, but it did go from 630 up to $8 right before the open, right? This is around 10 a.m. So we started to pull back. We were consolidating. We pulled back. We had lows around, 703. And really and truly just, a little up, down, sideways. Bigger pullback here, ended up being a bullish engulfing, but then from 847 we dropped off hard, so it was a little choppy initially. But when we got over hive day at if we want to say 850, let's say between 830, we had a baby pullback here, and that really initiated the move. This thing took off, man. It took off and it flew. I'm gonna rewatch the archive in detail around this area here, because I believe I was in, and then I sold, and it was also off the situation where I kind of was watching something else. I switched back to it, but there was enough time, but I didn't hold the trade long enough, because I was in down here, man. I was in it, and I sold, and like 3 seconds later, boom, this thing boosted up and halted up here at 912. I mean, just absolutely, positively insane. And let's look at the log, right? At 9:49. Let's just look at how I chopped around, man. I chopped around. It was a little frustrating for sure. 9:48. So this thing, let's see here. 9:49, 9:50. Oh yeah, well, after it was after 5 minutes, right? So that was 58 resumption. Yeah, which sounds about right. Hold up. Halted 40. No, 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 we got halted at 50. Then we got halted. Okay, then we got halted again, and then resumed at 58. So we got to look at 9:50. 9:50, a little before and a little after 9:50. But I tell you, man, these trades were so close. It's like let's come back a little bit here. Did I take any earlier entries? So we got 789. Initially we're watching to see if this thing is gonna break over 8. And then later it's where I saw it and it was pushing up. And I think it was right below $8 if I'm not mistaken. So I waited for it to break above the level to then hold, but it wasn't really dipping. And so I'm in, I'm out, I get chopped, then it goes up some more. Felt like I was like a little bit behind the 8 ball here initially, a little bit behind the 8 ball. And then it gets halted up again. So a couple minutes later, we come back for resumption. And I mean, from 820, where was the halt level? 850? Hold up. 9. I mean, I wish I had my E-Trade chart. This Thinkorswim chart sometimes is so messy because it doesn't show the dotted areas for the halt levels. But anyhow, from 45, it looks like we resumed here at 50. And then, we continued from 920 all the way to 1119 in one candle. And this is at 951. So it was very aggressive, man. It was very aggressive. And actually, you know what? Let's look at the archive. Let's look at the archive. Because it's so hard to remember just by looking at this chart. I'm not going to share too much of the video, but, just a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so okay, 765. Let's just go back a little bit. Let me see how this played out. So we had 765. It looks like I'm switching away from GOVX, coming over to it, and it's just uptrending. I tell you. Sometimes you gotta really, stock selection, man. Stock selection. Sometimes you gotta be quick to realize what's happening, switch over. I think I was even watching SOND right here at the lows because it was giving this double bottom around 410. And this actually turned out to also be a great trade right here. But again, now I'm gonna come over and say, okay, wow, this thing is coming up. So it's at 85 and I'm now noticing it. Precious time has passed, man. Precious time to where I can, analyze, see what's going on, understand the price action again, get in rhythm. And I mean, from 85 already at $8. It tests the level, doesn't quite go. And this is a trade I usually would be in on, man. Especially when we hold tight like that, like 88 again, 85 for a retest. I usually would be in right there. So it's just me coming a little late to the stock. So I'm watching to see if it's gonna hold above 8. I think right here is where I'm gonna take it. You can see like 07 by like 14. And I'm in, I'm watching to see. I see 03, I'm like, okay, I gotta cut it. I'm gonna cut it. And so right here, I think I got chopped out. It broke below the level, and then it's gonna go, I believe. I think right here we had 820 after it gets back over the level. Let's see if my memory is any good. But you can see it wasn't super, it's not super smooth. So you definitely have to be in rhythm. You have to be watching at this thing, knowing 885, or excuse me, 785 has been holding well. You kind of have to be in rhythm. So right here, I tried for the highs over 20. I'm like, okay, are we going to take off? Because 847 is high of day. And right here's the trade where I'm not going to hold it long enough. Again, it doesn't show that it's going to go immediately. So I cut it. And a couple seconds later, freaking heck, man. I'm telling you guys, this move could have easily happened whilst I was in there. And I'm using just 1,300 shares because I'm now switching back to it. I don't mind sizing up immediately, but I need to capture a good winning trade or two to like kind of get back in sync. This is a lot of sense. Let's assume it goes when I'm in at 20. What was that? 22, and then it goes to 40, and then $9. Goes back down to 812. I'm cutting the trade, which is the right thing to do, but I'm not getting back in at 25. And from 25, here's 45, and then $9. Guys, you got a couple thousand shares right there, man. This is a high of day breakout. Over 850, but in anticipation, we're watching 820 area. Much less for the people who, we look at these lows and how well the stock respected the lows. The very first entry on this incline is down here around 710. Other than that, there's the 1 minute candle that made the new high. There's baby pullbacks in here. There's the high of this bit of a ridge, which was like break of 8. Then there's a baby pullback from 820 back down to this low of 85. So when we saw level 2 earlier go to 85, all entries where, if you're in sync, in rhythm, you could give the stock more time to open up. And if you're holding, man, imagine being in there 3, 4, 5, 6K size from 20 all the way to 9, 12. A nice 80-cent move, 70-cent move. And oh man. So, that's kind of how it halted up. The resumption here was my fault, man. This was my fault. I think this is the resumption where I looked down, like with 3 seconds left, away from the level 2. This resumption ended up being decent. This resumption was pretty decent. Watch right here. It's holding 50, and I'm going to end up trying for the breakout. I think it held 50 if my memory's good. Right here, I'm trying for the breakout. I'm like, okay, it's off of 50. It's off of 50. Will we get the push right through 10? A bit of an aggressive entry. It's not going to go. It's not going to work. I got to cut it. And right here, I was preparing for a bigger pullback. Watching for a flush down 30, 20, high teens, mid 30s, anything. And look at how tight this thing holds against 50 right here. 43 and right back up. Woo! This kind of caught me off guard. But this was good because it's showing that nobody's selling. And then that was it. That was the area to be in right here for this continued push. And all the way to 1040. Now, whether you would have got filled on the ask or not is a different question, but man, I'm gonna study more of this. I don't want to give away all the archive here, but I'm gonna study more of this tonight, right? Tonight when I do my review, I'm gonna go over that area in full and at least 3 times. So again, I just didn't quite get to connect on it out of that resumption. And is it volatile? Is it risky? Of course. But there's a system. There's something that I'm looking for. And I didn't quite keep to the discipline to lock in right there. So we could have done better. Now, in terms of where we did capitalize, if we're to come back to the chart, as mentioned, from about 11:25 up to 15 area, if we go around 10 o'clock, we really had some trades in here that was pretty decent. 1270, 1278 out at 1312, 1305, in at 1306, out at 1340. This is a bit of a loss here. Small loss though, especially relative to and this is a bigger loss, 20 cents. And these losses, you got to expect to take some losses. So at 1002, this looks like a dip 1250. 1002, 1250. The low ended up being 18. No, on that candle, the low was 35. So we're not quite in towards the bottom. We're going to stop back out. And I think we ended up missing the dip below this level right here. So we weren't able to get in up until it got back up for the breakout again. In at 15 out of 37, out of 36 and 40, 43. Back in at 41, 42, 43, and out at 80 and 79. So we really did better on this like second move up, which is just not ideal. Like we already want to be big green in this area, man, and everything here is just cherry on top of the cake. So we gotta capitalize on the first move. The first move is the most important move, especially setting the tone, understanding how much of the gains you want to risk, rather than still being break even and really having to try to get something. Because if this is done after this halt, that's it. That's it. And VRAX, I really should have done better on this one because it was the same thing. The same chart. Essentially the same chart. Now, I will say I was a little late to this one. I didn't pull it up until it was halted up, and an opportunity is going to cost me watching SOND. So this thing got over VWAP, and the entry, if you ask me, I don't know if anyone was really taking these bottoming wicks. They weren't really overextended, but you know, still something. But break of VWAP right here. Over 488. So break of 5, rips to 520. Then dips to 509, holds 509, rips up to 560, then gets halted up at 617. If you had an eye on this thing, and I think the stock I was watching at was finished, and I did not start my rotation. So that's something else I can write down is like the moment the stock starts to die out, do a quick rotation, man. Don't fall in love and just stand there talking. Gotta just move to the next. Rotate, right? Earlier rotation. Gotta write that down here. Let me pause the video. Faster rotations. So this one, I think, was this the one? I think this might have been the one that I didn't, that I looked, I think this was the one I looked away on. I think this was it. Let me just see. This is so sad that sometimes this stuff happens. Because we're gonna miss out on like a massive gain here. Right here, we missed out on a massive gain. Let me just double check. Resumption's coming up. It opens up. Actually, no. I think this is fine. Yeah, this, okay, no. This one is fine. This one is fine. We did catch it. I don't know. There was one halt today that I looked away on. Okay, we caught this one. But it looks like what we didn't do a great job of. Let's see, the consolidation. We had lows of 712, 713. And I bought this consolidation high almost every time. So if we go to 1034, this is where a lot of people might have done well. It's taking this dip. So again, let's see, 1034, 1035. So right here, watch. I'm in at 20. I'm in at 20. Well, basically, let's say 25. The low's at 12. A little high. If I can get mid-teens, high teens, lower teens, even better. Okay, right here I got 16. Okay, so bit of a better trade here. Got 16 out at 27, 45, 49, and then 37. Let's see when it came back down again. Right here, in at 30, too high. 30, too high. And this particular area, I thought it was going to do a higher dip and then hold. I think we had I think the 1 minute candle might have made a new high. Let's just double check the time right here. This was at 38. Right here. So we made the new high over 60. Over, what was that, like 50? Yeah, we got up to 73. So I figured it wasn't going to drop all the way back to 12. I think that one was more of a fair trade, but still, man, if we can anticipate this better, we avoid this loss, plus there's a gain. And then I think over time here is where we're going to start to get the breakout. And we tried for the breakout a couple times right here, over 50. Missed it. Then this thing rips up to almost $8. We try underneath 8. It doesn't go. And it just, man, it definitely was a little frustrating. Right here, we bought the dip again at 70. Dip ended up coming all the way down to 40. This is at 41. So right here, We pushed up close to 8. It pulled back. I bought the dip, or we might have even gotten over 8. It was something crazy on this candlestick. Let's take a look at it. Let's just take a look at this. But a little bit more precision, and it's like you can do so well. And right here, there's a 12,000 share seller. I'm like, are we going to be able to break through? I'm going to eventually cut this trade a little early. It does get all the way to 90. And right here, it's going to linger. I believe this is where I might have gotten back in for break of 8. I'm going to try for break of 8. You can see I'm aiming for 90 right there. It gets up to 8. It touches 8. I get the fill that I'm looking for. And right here, I thought it was going to just rip right through high of day. Because remember, high of day was essentially $8, right? I'm trying to cut it flat because it's not going. And I'm like, all right, let me see if it's going to give that dip. Is it going to give that dip? Because it doesn't seem like it wants to go. It comes down right here. I'm going to take 60 area, 70 area. Boom. Ah, this one got me, man. This one got me. This one got all the way down to 25. And I got a miraculous fill. Thank TD, sometimes we get awful fills going in, but sometimes we got lucky with the price improvement. We got a decent fill coming out. It wasn't as terrible as it could have been. Oh man, this is brutal. This is pretty brutal. And all the way, where did we find support? 710. Where's this trend line? 710. It went all the way down to 710. And 30 seconds later, 850. That right there did, man, I tell you, these stocks. It gave one last shake. It shook us out one last time before going. So the trades up there at 70, at 8, at right below 8, all those trades are decent looking trades, because if it was a little stronger and it was really ready to go, imagine being in at 70 and getting that rip through $8 to 845, or being in at 790, getting that rip to 845. Instead, big loss coming down. Not sure exactly what the stock wants to do. Got a review. This candle I'm not too worried about. I want to review every other candlestick right here tonight in full detail, watching this area here at least twice, because we should have done a better job here, man. So, it's like it's a decent day, but we still made so many mistakes. I think frustration did kick in a little bit towards the end as well. And SO and D, this one early, as mentioned, also was in the thick of things. It did give a move going from 330 up to 448. And then right after the live stream, it took off again over high of day at 5. I was up 600 at the end of the live stream on this one. I got up to 15. I got up to 1700. So I made decent money here. And then I got caught in a flush. It broke high of day again here. This stock, man. It broke high of day again. Right? Was that high of day? I don't know. We had a bit of like a, so we had this bigger move. We had the highest priced in up here. And it broke out. So we had this consolidation. It broke out over this consolidation. And then, right here where we're thinking we're going to see another flag and continuation, I'm in. I got obliterated. And also down here, I dodged this candle by like 1 millisecond. I almost got caught right there. So it's almost like, man, it was a formality, sadly. So I'm in at 622 on the dip. The high was at 650. I did take the dip a little early. It showed 620. It bounced up to 30. I put my bid at 22. But I needed to wait for like mid-teens, because I felt it in my bones that it might come down a little lower. So I needed to be a little bit more patient there. The proper entry was like 615, 612. But it still failed. But it would have still been better for me to take the lower entry there, because we could have even gotten like 603, 605, or maybe even break below 6 before, like 98, 99, or 96 before the move back up. So I think I needed to be a little bit more patient there. And but you know, this we got a few of us got blazed here that was still trading. And again, if you zoom out, you can see the pattern was good, you know, but we're looking for the break through the level. It gave, instead of a breakout, a bit of a double top, flushed out, and from 22 to 82, not good, brother. Not good. 44 cents. Not good. Not good at all. Is that math right? Yeah, I think that's like 44 cents, so, or 40 cents. Not what we want to see, man. But you know, all part of the deal. It was still a good day. We ended at 5.1. Before that loss, we were at like 5.6, 5.7 maybe. But after that, we were like, that's it. And I left out, but I wanted to stay, but I opted to leave. I did miss NCNA. NCNA did go from 5 to 10. Lighter volume, but it seemed like some of the guys in the Discord were trading it, so it might have had some opportunities. But yeah, hit that thumbs up. You know, if you're someone who's interested in learning how to trade, guys, be sure to check out Merciless Markets. All right, that's the day trading course that I have, that I put my blood, sweat, and tears into, and it goes from zero to advanced. All right, you guys can check out the website, and you can utilize coupon code STATION for 40% off. We will be giving away a traveling trading setup just like the ones you guys see right here and in the videos of us traveling with the team house. We're going to give away one of these setups, and hopefully, you know, it really, whoever wins, it really benefits you and helps you out with your trading and your trading equipment. All right, so utilizing coupon code STATION is going to get you entered into the raffle. You guys can always feel free to check out the diagram here to see exactly what's included in your membership. All right, Diamond is the flagship, which has every single thing that we have, you know, including our low latency streaming in the chat room, our scanners, our halt scanners, our watch lists, our game plan, our course A to Z, the weekly Q&As, and so forth and so forth and so much more. All right. Also, it gives you chat room access. You guys can check out the curriculum. It's quite intensive. It's, you know, it's progressive. It's easy to digest, but it's also very detailed. There's a lot here. You know, chapter 24, pretty big with all of our edges. And then from here, we get into our live trading archives, which is this exact video that you guys just saw. You know, we upload this raw footage of us trading with all of our instruments. 1 hour, full 1 hour. You can see every loss, every win, everything in between, to see how the day progressed and transpired. All right. So you can always feel free to check out our live trading archives. All right. This is also included in your memberships. And with that being said, that's going to do it. It's been Arti. It's been Arti, your favorite YouTuber here. And I am signing out, right? Also, if you're not interested in classes, you can always check out the chat room. The chat room is where it goes down. And by the way, let me not forget to flex I gotta flex the chat room here a little bit. Hold up. Because we had a lot of members also on Friday do very well. You know, and we're still transparent. You guys will still see that we had some red trades here, some red P&Ls, right? So we're not hiding anything. Just like how I post red and green recaps, you know, we have traders posting red and green. Lucas, you know, who usually does super well on these days, saying today, hey, he didn't connect up 192. You know, green is still good, but we know Lucas can be up 5, 10, 20K on a day like today with this hot momentum, right? So let's scroll on up here. You know, 330, 39 bucks from Jess, and you know, with the small size, Shay getting it done, and Shay seems to be sizing up. Way to go, Shay. Keep it up. 255, and Mentally Green 2.5. Way to go, way to go. Cactus Rob, old reliable, getting it done. Orange, small red today. You know, keep at it. Check out the archives. Be sure to check out Marcelo's archives. Check out my archive. Check out Tim's archive, because you can always see the different perspectives, right? Beam, one of the students, was up 10K but ended up, you know, giving back, and we know the risk, right? We know some of those resumption trades, if you get caught, especially with bigger size. Green Dream ended red today, and another individual who usually does super well, right? Dynasty, also old reliable, getting it done, 1K. Big Steve, one of the moderators here in the chat room, getting it done. And shout out to Steve, man. Steve's story is incredible, man. Steve's story is incredible, man. We really need to get out a documentary for Steve. Hopefully one day we can get it. Minty, Green, 1K. J in the green side of things here, up 46 bucks. Save, team house member, 17,000. Marcelo, mentor, and the other admin and MMU leader here, $20,000 in just one day, in just 3 hours, in just 2 hours, really. The trades, 600 bucks. Another one of the students getting it done. Crispy Trades, another team house member and chat room member, 12,000 bucks on the day. I mean, just, Crispy Trades. I mean, these guys are just incredible, man. Jorge getting it done, 800 bucks. And Tim red today, 5K. But we know Tim. This is a fluke, right? This is an anomaly, a fluke, because Tim is so consistent. Even just last Friday, Tim was up 27K. Just a bit of an off day for him tomorrow. We already know what to expect. He'll be back with a vengeance. He'll be trading with a pure heart, and he will be locking it in. I can guarantee it. All right. So shout out to Tim as well. SF getting it done. I mean, the list goes on. Ken getting it done. The list goes on and on and on and on. Zay all the way to the moon. All right. All right. That's gonna do it. Hit that thumbs up. Check out the chat room. You can join the chat room for just 14 bucks. This is one of the cheapest chat room, and there's so many great traders in here. There's people charging 800, 500, 200, 100 bucks, $99 for chat room. And they don't even have anybody who's great in there. Not only do you have Relentless, but you have all these other amazing traders. And not even everyone posted. Not even close to everybody posted here. There's still a lot of people who didn't post, right? But anyhow, hit that thumbs up. Stay safe, stay green. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. bright and early for another beautiful day in the markets.